Hey everybody, we're back with another video. Today we're going to be doing kind of a what to do on a really nice sunny day in downtown Halifax. It's a beautiful day here in June. There's a couple cruise ships in right now too, but I'm going to basically give kind of a walk and tour, give you some ideas of what you can do when you come to town. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so up first we got kind of a weekend thing, but if you're downtown on a Saturday, we've got two really great farmers markets. This one's the Alexander Keith's Brewery. The other one is the one down by Pier 21. So those are open every Saturday, rain or shine, doesn't matter. But if you're in town on a Saturday, then it's definitely worth checking out. I'll loop in some clips of them too, just so you can see kind of what the interior is like. So on Saturdays, this area is turned into a market. This area is also packed with vendor shops and whatnot. And there's actually another little spot down below that also has lots of shops there. Okay, I walked all the way down here to the Kennard Center. I think it's actually called Pavilion 23. And there's actually no farmer's market today. It's there Saturdays and Sundays. This right behind me is Pier 21, if you see that bridge. So you basically just keep walking along here. And on Saturdays and Sundays is the second farmer's market. I can't get in there because it's closed today, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's number one. All right, so number two, and in my opinion, one of the best ways to kind of take in the city is hop on the boardwalk along the Halifax waterfront. So this is a really long boardwalk, a couple kilometers long, and you can basically hop on it where the cruise ships land and take it all the way down to the casino. And alternatively, if you're feeling adventurous, you can actually go past where the cruise ships are, all the way down to Point Pleasant Park, which is a pretty nice forested acreage that has been there for ever. That's just walking trails through the woods and whatnot if you're kind of into that nature. But we'll go for a little walk along here. I'll kind of stop periodically, film some stuff, and give you a good idea for what the waterfront walk's like. Okay. Garrison Brewing Co., one of the local craft breweries. Their patio actually doesn't have a view of the water, but it's right beside the cruise ship port. Okay, going for a little walk here. All right, here's the Bike Thief right there. Sea Smoke is another great restaurant. The Bike Thief put out this thing, I think it's called Sabia, in the summer. Anyways, that's a really cool spot to get like a little drink right on the water here. So this would be a good stop if you're looking to grab a bite to eat. Bike Thief has some awesome food, and obviously there's some beer here, but there's a lot of other places along that we'll cover that are like open air beer gardens. All right, there's Sea Smoke. Pretty great patio. Also, if you're looking to get your caffeine fix, you can actually get some beer there too. The Daily Grind Cafe and Art Bar. So there's the Bike Thief for reference. You're kind of walking along the waterfront, and you just come in here, grab a little coffee, take it to go. Yeah. One of the ice cream shops called Sugar. All right, we're still on the waterfront walk here. Go that way and actually stay on the legitimate boardwalk. You can kind of do this cut through. I'm doing the cut through. You got beach volleyball here sometimes in the summer. Okay, and then the last year they've started to put these kind of like boxy little market stalls around. You can see a couple of them out there actually on the wharf. But depending on the day, those will be open as well. Okay, as you keep walking along kind of into the downtown area, you're gonna run into these shops, and on the other side, there's a little food court over here, so let's go check that out. Also up here, you've got this cool little pavilion area. But yeah, you've got, you know, all kinds of different food. You can get Cow's ice cream, that's really famous from Prince Edward Island. There's poutine here, seafood. There's a restaurant, the Waterfront Warehouse right there. You can kind of see it in the background, and there's lots of places to sit. So this is kind of just like a quick grab and go spot if you don't want to go into a sit down restaurant. It's probably got everything you're looking for. Hartwood's a great kind of vegan spot. Yeah, there's a lot of options. So yeah, you got this great little pavilion up here right beside the food court. And you can take your food and eat it right up here. All right, in terms of spots to get a beer, this is probably number one. On the waterfront at least, it's called the Beer Garden. You might pay a little bit extra, but you get a real nice view of the water when you're up high and shaded and everything like that. So that could be a stop if you're looking for a quick pop. Okay, right beside the beer garden, another nice thing to do might be to rent or charter a sailing boat. A really nice day. These guys, J Farewell, they do some nice tours. You can see there's one of their boats. This is the bigger catamaran over here. So that's an option. Also, you see this little boat right here? That's kind of a wake boat. I think you can actually rent from these guys right beside J Farewell for the day or wherever. These guys also rent out kayaks. They've got this new blue boat as of this summer, and they've got a bunch of jet skis that you can rent out. So look them up. Sea Halifax private jet boat tours and harbor watercraft tours and adventures. You can kind of see on the side right there. Okay, as we keep walking along the waterfront here, we're going to come to the big blue wave, and if you go right, there's actually this old World War II warship that you can kind of tour around. It's a Corvette, and I think they actually use the renderings of the ship to make a recent Tom Hanks movie called The Greyhound. But pretty cool. You can get on there, tour that around. And I think the Acadia, which is right over there as well, you can also tour that depending on the day, but definitely worth a little quick Google. And if you got kids, again, right at the wave here, this is a great spot to kind of just come. This used to be an old wooden monstrosity, and they've obviously redone it, but great spot to play. Okay, so we're still kind of on this waterfront boardwalk, but I wanted to take a quick stop here beside the Acadia. At the end, you'll see that little arch there, and something that you may or may not know about Halifax was that it played a significant role in World War II. And that arch, they've got a title on it called The Last Step. So for a lot of guys that went over to World War II from the States and Canada, I believe that both countries were shipping out from here, that was kind of the last time they ever touched North American or Canadian soil. And there's quite a few plaques around here. If I pivot, you can kind of see plaques right behind me there that give you a little history on what happened here during World War I as well as World War II. But yeah, for a lot of guys, that was kind of the last time that they stepped foot on Canadian soil. So they've turned this part of the Maritime Museum, which is right behind me, into kind of like a World War II, World War I exhibit as well. So anyways, interesting to check out. It's free, and while you're walking along, you can check that out. So we'll keep going here, and I'll show you some more stuff along the boardwalk. Okay, as we get to this big, newish looking building, this is called the Queen's Mark, and they've put in a bunch of really good restaurants lately. This is a new ice cream company called the Fog Company. This is the back of Bar Sophia, which has got a great little kind of patio for you to have some drinks on. You've got Daria out there, which has more of a waterfront patio. And then, yeah, there's like a lot of restaurants in here. You'll see when we come around the corner. This is kind of a cool stop to do like a little pit stop, maybe grab a drink. Obviously ice cream, or they've actually got probably one of the low-key best pizza spots in the city called Sapori. And you can see it kind of right over there in that corner. But yeah, you know, you can just kind of take in the city from in here. It's nice and cool and sheltered. They got a couple bars, a couple restaurants. And they've all actually been set up by a company out of Toronto, so they're pretty darn good quality. But yeah, definitely worth kind of taking your breath and checking out this little space here. Okay, here's another look at Sapori. Right. It's a great place for pizza. You can get some Piece by Chocolate after, which is a famous little chocolate shop here in town. Okay, heading past Queen's Marquee. When you get to this point, this little kind of clock tower, right down here, you're gonna see the ferry terminal behind me. Now here for $2.75, you can get over to Dartmouth, and it's definitely worth doing. You know, you get a great little kind of cheap boat tour of the city harbor that'll take you over to downtown Dartmouth. There's that ferry right there behind me. And downtown Dartmouth is kind of behind me too there. You can see some buildings in the foreground and the background. But definitely worth doing. They got a couple cool shops over there. On a Saturday, they've got a great farmers market as well. And there's some really great restaurants, bars, nice walk, you know, some cafes over there. So probably worth doing if you got a little bit of extra time, is head over to Dartmouth and just kind of explore that downtown. But that's kind of a pit stop along the way when we're walking along this boardwalk right here. So we'll keep going, and there's only a couple more stops along the boardwalk, then we'll get into the rest of the city. Okay, right on the other side of the ferry terminal, you got this nice little green kind of space. There's some chairs set up there. You got a great view of Dartmouth. You can see the ferry coming in. And then if you keep walking along here, you are going to see, this is called historic properties. So on Sunday nights in the summer here, they actually have open air concerts that you can go to. Hosted by the Lower Deck. Look that place up. I'll put a little B-roll in over top, but this is just a great kind of spot to come visit. Pickford and Black is here. Another kind of waterfront patio. And then there's some shops and boutiques in here. There's like a little cafe, a couple touristy shops, a couple clothing stores. But as you can see, when we walk in here, just kind of a quick cut through. And then down there, you've got a bunch of shops and whatnot if you're so inclined, or you can keep going right out into the rest of the walk. So we're still connected here. This is a pretty good seafood spot called Salty's. Again, you're right on the water. This has been around forever. And then in through there, you can actually see the tent from last night. So the concert will kind of face the road. You can see the stage set up. That gets rocking at night, so that's a great spot to hit up. Okay folks, we're pretty much done the boardwalk. You can actually keep walking around that corner there, and on the other side of this building, this is a hotel called the Marriott, is the casino. So probably not a nice sunny day thing to do, but if you're feeling lucky, I guess, who knows, right? There's no real outside part of the casino, so it's not a great thing to do on a sunny day. But again, it's pretty close. Probably if I was walking straight to the casino from where I started this boardwalk tour, it'd probably take me about 10 minutes, so it's not too far. But now we are gonna kind of head up into the city of Halifax, and we're doing kind of a walking tour today, right? Like obviously there's great restaurants everywhere downtown. There's a lot of great outdoor patios you can hit up. It's kind of based on your own preference, but we'll kind of stop and go as we go. One thing I want to show you here. So this big mess behind me is called the Cogswell Project, if you Google it. And they're basically trying to connect the casino to the rest of downtown Halifax with parks and condo buildings and whatnot. So it's a bit of a mess right now, but when it's done in 30 years or however long it's gonna take, then it's gonna be actually pretty great. So anyways, a little side note, but let's keep going. Okay, if you're looking for kind of a more European feel with your patio, basically one block up from the waterfront from where the ferry terminal is, you've got Split Crow, which is a very famous bar here in Halifax. They got a great happy hour on, I think, Thursday and Saturdays, so look that up. It turns into a huge party here, but you know, kind of a neat spot. Or you can go to Boston Pizza. One thing I forgot to mention, if you're looking to kind of get around the downtown core, obviously we're on a pretty big hill here, so you can either rent kind of those e-bikes, real bikes, or the electric scooters. Those are all options. They have some ripped on me there. They have some bike paths kind of scattered throughout the city. But you know, that's kind of one way to get around. Obviously you're gonna want a bike lock or something along those lines, but if you don't want to do the hills, you're gonna want transportation. That's one option. Hey guys, part 2 of this video will be out next week, so be sure to subscribe and follow along, and you'll be able to see that when it comes out. All right.